How are you? Who'd you talk to? What's going on? Thank you for joining us here at legitpodcast.com. It's October 18th, 2023. This is Legit Paranormal News. I am King Miguel.
I'm Dreamy David Barr.
I'm Shrader Hill, author.
And I'm Machine Mandy.
And now for our top story. David?
Mike, we're going to keep it
David,
local.
I'm sorry. Before you get into that, a couple things really quick. Congratulations to Miss Sin Shrader Hill, author, for the book that was displayed at the beginning of this intro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like to say the name again?
Realm of Shadows, True Ghost Stories, and Eerie Tales. And
Available
David
where?
and Mandy have stories in it as well.
Available where?
Available on Amazon right now.
There it is. Okay. Second, Dave, I just want to go over this really quick. So this all started oddly enough. Some kid had a bozo, the clown from back in the day, the old school, like that 2-foot one or 1-foot one, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You should get from Sears. So I had a bozo the clown. I love that thing. Like, and that's why I've never been scared of clowns. Like, that's the weirdest thing with me is that clowns don't scare me at all. Even evil clowns, we've had them on the show, and I laugh because they're clowns. And they're like, no matter what it is, you're a clown. Like, it's a clown. It's supposed to be funny. So it is to me. But here are the 13 most influential toys. Okay? Number 13 is here's what we're going to do. I'll say a name. Just say either had it or nope. Okay? Had it or nope. You guys got your answers? It's either had it or nope. All right?
Got it.
Number 13, the Cabbage Patch doll.
Had
David.
it.
Wait,
Had it.
wait. Dave, you heard the part when you heard the name, right?
Right.
All right. David,
Nope.
Sin,
Had it.
Mandy.
Definitely had it.
No. No. I inherited one, but no. The Leap Pad. Now this includes your kids. This includes offspring, grandkids, all the way down. The Leap Pad. David,
No.
Sin,
No.
Mandy,
Yes.
and me. No. So there's one of us. All right. Number 11, Rubik's Cube. David,
Yes. Had
Sin.
No.
Never owned the Rubik's Cube? Really, Sin?
Well,
Mandy. I'm like, really? You never owned a Rubik's Cube? I come, Mandy.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I've owned several. Sin, how you never owned a Rubik's Cube?
everybody around me had them. I didn't have to have one.
Oh, all right. Number 10, the Viewmaster. David,
Had it.
Sin,
Had it.
Mandy.
What the hell's that? No. No?
Yeah, you did.
They
You
had
did.
these little white
Yeah,
discs,
you did.
and you put them
When
in
you
the
put disc in
viewfinder.
and you click it over
Now
and
I
see
know what you're talking about.
the view.
Yeah, I got it.
We all had this. I didn't even want to ask this one. This was one of those ones where that was video games. Like, I don't want to sound really old because I was hanging around before the internet. I could leave my house before there was mobile phones or the internet and just leave and go. And I could go anywhere. And guess what? No one knew where I was. So, but things got so much better with technology. Number 9, Star Wars figurines. David,
Had it.
Sin,
Nope.
never had one. Okay.
Nope.
Mandy.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I got them over there. To be honest. So yeah. All right. Number 8, Doc McStuffins. This would have to be somebody with kids because this is somewhat recent, but there was a big. This was like a big toy. Doc McStuffins. David,
Nope.
Sin,
Nope.
Mandy.
No, I don't think so.
So then this one is the only one I can definitely cross off the list. I don't know. The Super Soaker. David,
Had it.
Sin,
Had it.
Mandy.
Had it.
Oh my God! All of us had Super Soaker. So and this. All right, here we go. This is gonna be the fun one. The Easy Bake Oven. David,
Nope.
Sin,
Nope.
Mandy.
Yes.
So did I. So did I. You know why? That thing made muffins. I ain't even joking. I ain't even joking. When I found out that that thing made muffins, I wanted that toy. I didn't care if it was supposed to be not supposed to be for me. What you know what I mean? Like they were saying, I eat muffins. I don't muffins. All right. Next, number 5, the Chatty Cathy. This would be something that's before maybe before all our times. I don't know. David,
Nope.
Sin,
No.
Mandy.
I can't remember. I mean, it sounds familiar, but
Because that was the first kind of talking. I said, I love you. Let's play house.
if I didn't have it, one of my sisters might have.
The thing with that is I feel like my mom had this or like, maybe my brother Ray did. Right? My brother Ray, who's on Legit Fantasy Football with me on Sundays. I just want to say, hey, Ray, yeah, you had a Chatty Cathy. Number 4, a Nerf bow and arrow. David.
No.
Sin.
No.
Mandy.
Had it.
Yeah, me too. I had the gun, the bow and arrow. Yeah, I like to shoot Nerf stuff. All right. G.I. Joe. Now, that either means the kids in the 80s with the figurines, or the more revolutionary one kind of came in the late 70s. Around there was that 12-inch G.I. Joe that the head that first came out. So I'm more or less talking about either one. David.
Had it.
Sin.
Not really. No.
Okay.
I would steal my brothers. I would steal my brothers.
There you
That's
go.
what I was about to say. I would do.
So steal your brothers. That kind of counts as having one. So these last two might flip the other way. All right. The Barbie. David.
Nope.
Sin.
Had it.
Mandy.
Yeah, I had it.
I actually ended up with a Barbie at one point, but it was like later on in life. It was in my 30s, 20s or 30s. It's a long story. I made the news over this Barbie doll. Yeah, you have no idea if they ever dig that up. I made the news over this Barbie doll. I was outraged before people got outraged. How about that? Being dead serious. I'm talking like way back. Number 1 most influential toy, the Lego. David.
Had it.
Sin.
Nope.
Well, never owned any Legos?
No.
Sin, you went through life. No Legos, no Rubik's Cube.
The Rubik's Cube was around me, and no, I didn't have any Legos.
Dave, do we need a lawyer to check Sin's answers when it's her turn? You feel like we're almost at that point where she's just kind of being so vague that it's like, okay, well, go on to Mandy. Mandy, Lego.
Had it.
Okay. Last, I wanted to end with this. If you had to pick your favorite toy that's not there, that's not listed, most influential toy for you, what would it be? Dave, you get to go first on the spot.
That's tough. I had a ton of Masters of the Universe or Transformers, I'll say. But there's something very important missing from that list, Mike.
What's that?
The Snoopy snow cone machine.
Oh, yeah.
Cannot be on the list.
Well, how about Twister?
Ooh.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I saw that were wrong with it, but Sin, one toy.
It's a toss-up between hula hoop and the pogo stick. Sorry. I'm showing
it
my
again,
age.
Dave. Check with the lawyers. Was that actually an answer to the one toy? Because if you just go, well, it's a toss up between two.
It is a toss-up. I love them both.
Okay. So what were they again?
The
The hula hoop and the pogo stick.
Yes.
Oh, those are basic. That's basic stuff. All right. Mandy.
So it would be the neon bright light. Do you guys remember that? Where you on that?
Yep.
I can't quite remember what it was called. Something like that.
It was light bright, and you could make different. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd be numbered, and you could make different designs with them and draw them out on the pad.
Yes.
That says a lot, Mandy. That speaks volumes. I'm being honest, because that was like back in the day. That was like this light up thing that was like before anything else lit up. That's really what that was. I'm gonna say Dungeons and Dragons. I'm gonna say when I found that game, and oh my God, what people thought of that game back when I first was introduced to it. I mean, in an Italian family, and if you guys had beers, you have to drink. They thought it was evil.
Yeah.
The Italians thought Dungeons and Dragons was an evil game. I was warned once or twice not to play that game. Damn, I love that game. It's such a great game to play when you're a kid. It was hard to learn, hard as. I mean, you have to have like a math degree, and you got to know all this other geek stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have all the geek stuff. I had to learn it, and I caught up. But okay, Dave, for top story.
All right, my turn for a question.
All right.
Favorite old school horror like killer. So you have like Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy, Leatherface. Sin, who's your favorite?
Of my favorite?
Yeah.
Ooh, Michael Myers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mandy?
Oh, man. Does it have to be the favorite? Well, yeah, you said favorite, not the scariest one. But yeah, I want to go with Jason.
Okay. Mike?
It's weird because in my head I keep thinking of I guess Freddy Krueger would have to be the one that was the scariest to me then.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that I don't fondly remember him. Like he's not my favorite villain of all time. That's more like a in a Denzel movie. What I'm trying to say is like if you're talking about like horror type stuff, yeah. Freddy Krueger, I guess.
I wonder who my favorite is.
Yep, same thing, Freddy Krueger. So wait, but see, Dave, you were around for Dream Warriors. You remember the song?
Yes, the Doc.
Right.
Yeah, and like Dawkins.
So see, people that were in that groove, people in that groove love Freddy Krueger. If you're around that time frame where you were thinking like of things, those were great movies. Like in your dreams, that you want to give somebody nightmares, right?
Yeah.
Talk about nightmares. Works for me.
I can remember coming home on Halloween night as a kid, and my mother would make us all popcorn, and we'd dump out the candy all over the floor, and we'd sit there and we would watch all these scary movies, and it always was Freddy Krueger would start off. Nightmare on Elm Street. Scare me to death. But we'd sit there and watch them.
See what my situation was, but people don't understand it. So I lived in a three or four bedroom little apartment with my mom, dad, and two brothers till I was about 15 or so. Now I have an older brother, 6 years older, and a younger brother who's 3.5 years younger. I'm in the middle. I'm the middle guy. They're both 5'8", and they both love horror movies. They both love monster movies, horror movies, scary movies, this kind of movies. I hated them. I hated those movies as a kid. I wanted to go watch like Abbott and Costello. Dude, I had nightmares so bad for so long that I've told Dave this before. In a dream, I one time stopped it, and from that point on, I don't dream well. In my dreams, I always know I'm dreaming. Even if something great is happening, like I'm on stage and Mick Jagger's there, I'll go, oh, it's a dream, because my mind won't let me go past that anymore. So I even ruin good dreams, but I've never had a bad dream since then. I feel like I put like a mental block on myself, and that's why I'm like always saying, like, I don't want to watch a horror movie because it's just gonna rile me up like this, and I want to leave that shut. But I digress. Let's see.
So,
Dave?
Mike, we're both from Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of Fingernails Freddy?
Now, see, that's the thing, right? I want to tell you no, because everybody else has never heard of him. But because of this show, yes, I have stumbled upon that story, and I was like, up to that point, Dave, I'll say I never heard of it.
All right. I just learned of him the other day myself. So in Rhode Island, we have an urban legend that's told around campfires about this man named Fingernail Freddy. What? So many people believe this urban legend to be one of the inspirations for Freddy Krueger of Nightmare on Elm Street. According to Dyer County High School, This legend originates at Camp Corona in Cumberland, Rhode Island, and it dates back to the mid 20th century. Now, some people say 19th century, so it's around 19th, 20th century. Um, so the legend says that there's this man named Freddie. He lived with his wife and his daughters out in the woods in this small log cabin. Um, they were constantly bothered by these local kids playing pranks on them, like letting their cows out and knocking over their crops. So Freddie wants to put a stop to this. He loads his shotgun up with rock salt, and the next time the kids came around to play a prank, he shot them with the salt to scare them off. So the kids were angry that an old man would dare do this to them, and they went back for a little revenge. Freddie is in his barn. While he's in there, the kids set fire to his house with his wife and daughters trapped inside.
No.
Freddie sees the fire, and he runs into the house to save them, but it's too late. And in the process of running in there to try to save his family, he's severely burned and ends up disfigured from his injuries. So Freddie eventually stops going to town. He becomes a hermit. And
now, wasn't Freddie a school teacher, or he actually did was connected to a school? Was he not? What his profession was? He a school teacher or janitor? And I'm being dead serious. He may have been like the janitor of that particular area. That was like legitimately his real life job in that story.
I did not come across that in the few versions that I found, but it's entirely possible.
Yeah, because it's in Cumberland, and I'm pretty sure where it was around. So I think he was like at least like a groundskeeper. How about that? Pretty much what I think it was.
Either way, he's burned, he's disfigured, he stops going to town, he becomes a hermit, and the legend says that his fingernails keep growing and he starts to sharpen them. Now, from there's several versions of the legend. One says that Freddie got his revenge on the kids who had burnt his house and murdered his family by killing each one of them with his long and sharpened fingernails. When he died, Freddie was buried in the Elder Ballou Meeting House Cemetery in Cumberland, and it's said that his spirit still wanders there looking for other victims to kill. Now, another version of this legend claims that Fingernails Freddie hated the noise that campers made out in the woods. You know, he's a recluse. He likes his peace and quiet. So campers tell each other, don't make noise at night or else Fingernails Freddy's coming to kill you or claw you or both.
He's a recluse?
He's a recluse.
Fingernail Freddy.
Yeah. Wants to be left alone. He's all disfigured, lost his family, probably angry at the world. Understandable. And there's one more version of this that claims that anyone who wandered onto his former property in the woods would be murdered by him in spirit form.
Wow.
All right. So it's a lot to digest.
It is.
What I know of that story is a little different. So now there's the main story I heard was that he's always the victim in every version of the actual like story that they wrote out of Cumberland, Rhode Island that I've ever read. He's actually like the victim in that story. So Wes Craven took like an idea like that and made it supernatural, made it so that the guy could get his revenge on these kids and go back into their dreams, because he basically could only get people on Elm Street, right? Wasn't that what it was? It was all the kids lived on Elm Street. Am I not correct in saying that?
I think so.
In the movies, yeah.
You're on the street, you know what I mean? Get off the street. I'm just but like I get it. So I everything I've ever read about him around here, it's always the kids that pretty much burned him down, his house down, and his family. So I don't know how that makes him the bad guy for wanting revenge. I mean, becoming Fingernails Freddy's a little odd, but what would you do with your whole family? I'd probably become like, I don't know.
Yeah, and you're
Mustache Mike.
Scarred and disfigured. Obviously, that's going to cause some mental anguish and probably cause someone to snap a little bit at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you guys this. When anyone changes their face too much, when they make like a bad decision and you can see it on their face, do you feel bad, or what is like your reaction when you see someone else that purposely tried to adjust their face and made it look worse?
I'm just like, what the hell did that person do to themselves?
All right, good. All right, I want to make sure I wasn't the only one. No, I don't. You guys, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, why would you didn't have to do that? Like, why did you, like, you know what I mean? And then I feel bad on the next level. What's great is I'm not even mentioning what I'm talking about. But on the next level, I feel almost even worse because I feel like someone should have spoke to that person and been like, yeah, you don't need to do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless you really wanna, you know, but I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I didn't have to. But, and then I'm gonna end it with this. When they fill in like the cheeks, it has the Joker spray type, reaction that I call the catfish. And what happens is they go up like that and they get a permanent, like, it's not good. It's not good. And the eyes always seem like they just got patted up because they're always like a little puffy. Like, it's just and it's like, here's the thing. Like, I can grow a beard, shave it off, this, that, the other, shave my head. I don't care. But when I go in the mirror, I know it's my dumb head. To go into the mirror and see someone else's face on my dumb head would be terrifying. I guess is where I brought this all the way back. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Like, even doing it on purpose, like, because I have to get my nose fixed. I can only breathe out of one nostril. It's been broken so many times. It's just not straight. But I'm afraid to do it in a weird way, and I'm be honest with you guys, because I'm gonna look a little different, and I'm not even mentally prepared for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to fuck with my face again. Last time they did, they closed the nostril. Excuse my French, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like, stay away from the face. Stay away.
I don't like the collagen injection in the lips.
Oh.
And then they have like the big duck lips. Looks like Mike Tyson like smashed someone in the mouth.
I read something that made my day today, and I love it when you read something that's just so ridiculous, but it makes so much sense and it hits home. And it said, who would have thought in 1984 or 5 that Roseanne Barr would be much hotter than Madonna?
Yeah, I saw that.
I read that. I was like, wow, that is a fact. Holy crap. That's society right in our face. Not to make that joke, but you know what I'm trying to say? That's right there. That's like the difference of growing gracefully.
Yeah.
Not growing and not being graceful. Like, there's a lot going on there. I don't mean to speak for females. I mean, I see men do it too. I've seen, I mean, you know, men, the best of the men do the muscles. Dave, ever see those guys with the fake muscles?
The pec implants and stuff.
Oh, they're like their biceps, and they don't even look real, and they're like watery looking. It's like, guy.
Oh, and the calf implants.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what?
You know what?
Yeah, so we got poor Freddie who gets burned and disfigured.
Hey, Dave, really quick though, a dating tip. If a woman ever makes a decision based on your calves, and this goes for the ladies, you can flip this. Just walk away. I'll tell you that much. That's my love advice for this show.
I mean, poor fingernails Freddy gets burned alive, and then we have people like destroying themselves and paying money to do so.
Well,
now, let me ask you guys this: the movie. First off, didn't know that was Johnny Depp till years later. I can say that much about that movie, right? That was one of those. Oh, it was. Yeah, he got killed on the bed with all the blood. Oh, all right. The first one was good. The second one was, I think, really. I'm trying to figure out where it kind of started to teeter on where I didn't want to. I think it was 3. I think the Dream Warriors was the last gasp of it. I don't even think it went 3 good ones, because then I think 4 is what, like this, I definitely tailed off right there. I think I stopped at 4 to 5 and all that other junk.
Yeah, there's one with Jason too, where them two come
Yeah.
together and battle it off.
Yeah, I mean, Alien, Predator, Jason. That was the best part about Batman, the Lego movie.
Oh,
Was that they could have everybody from everywhere in that movie. Like they had every character I could think of, every villain from every. It was just hilarious, just hilarious what they could do. Sorry, Dave.
Did you know that Wes Craven, the original script, had a positive ending where Nancy vanquished Freddy, and the studio was like, "No, we're not going to do that. We want a franchise. You got to make him come back somehow," and that's how he ended up in the scene, like at the end in the car, like driving the kids.
I forgot about that.
That's bad planning on Wes Craven's part. Who spends their time? Sin, you're an author of a new book. What's the name of the new book?
Realm of Shadows.
You don't write a brand new character that's got nuances to him and then kill him at the end of the first book.
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so.
You know what I mean, Wes? Is that Wes just being artistic and trying to get some street cred by saying that?
I think it was the first script he ever wrote. And that was the story he wanted to tell, and the studio thankfully saw the potential in a franchise and wanted to keep bringing Freddy back, have him invade some more dreams and terrorize some more kids. Keep Nancy.
But I don't think Robert Englund gets enough credit.
Oh, Robert Englund's awesome. He totally made that character.
Totally. That was an actor that carried that. Mandy?
So I've been watching AMC, and they've been playing all the old scary movies from the 80s, 90s. And yeah, I mean, I've been watching a good portion of today. And they've been playing Hellraiser.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now that one is, whoo, dang.
That one grossed me out when they had like no skin, and it was like all the muscles and tendons and
Yeah, all the skin pulling with the hooks and oh no.
I couldn't watch them when they first came out, but I just watched them a month and a half ago, all of them.
Hulu just remade Hellraiser, and Pinhead's a female. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things about it.
It's good.
Do you guys remember barf bags? They would give them out at theaters.
Oh,
scary movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anybody in their 20s right now that listens to this at all is going, what is he talking about? What I mean is back in the Stone Age, back when it was black and white, there was no color yet, no rainbows, nothing. There was no sun, nothing, just black and white. But way back, they would give us barf bags at super scary movies to make you more scared and anxious. Because you would think, why does the ticket come with a barf bag? You know what I mean? A throw bag. That's what I mean by that. I might be talking Rhode Island right now, so no one understands what I'm saying. A vomit bag, a little insulated. First off, have you guys ever thrown up in a barf bag? And would you ever throw up in a barf bag? Could you get yourself to do it?
Oh, shoot.
Mandy, you're the only one. You're the only one, Mandy.
Not at a movie though. I was at a moonshiners thing, and
you used one of those bags.
Huh?
And you used the bag, the barf bag.
I'm glad I did, because if not, it was going to be a mess.
Oh, that's right. I don't understand it, and I don't mean to get gross here, because I do tend to do that. Once I start throwing up, so be it. It's not going to go in a bag. It's not going in a bag. It's not going in a bag. I who politely does that? Like, I couldn't just go.
I had to drive it.
Excuse me, I need to golf.
Mandy's dainty.
Hey, I'll be like, hey, hold my beer, guy, hold my beer. And go.
I was in a car when I had.
Give me the beer back. All right, now I'm good.
Do they still have those on airplanes?
Yeah, which is even worse, because the last thing you want is the person next to you to not run to the goddamn bathroom and instead use their barf bag next to you. That's gonna go well for you. Smell's not gonna be bad. Not gonna be spraying out the sides at you. You know what I mean? Barf back. Make no sense. Made no sense, but they were there and they were scary. I mean, so you guys understand, those movies became so big, and I mean this because you could only see them every so often. You couldn't see them every single minute of the day, which here's me sounding old again, but that's okay. I got a white beard. I miss the whole not being able to see something for a certain amount of time, the anticipation. Plus,
Exactly. Yeah.
we all don't watch the same thing anymore and then talk about it the next day. Never. I haven't had a conversation with a single person in like, I don't know how many decades where we talked about both of us, unless it's a football game. I digress. Sport game, my bad. Sporting events, I've talked about the next day with somebody. But usually it's not like, hey, I was watching, what's the new one I'm watching? Jack Reacher. Is it Reacher? Yeah, on
Reacher.
Reacher on
Is that
Amazon.
Amazon Prime?
Netflix, maybe?
No, Amazon Prime. Reacher.
Amazon Prime?
So it's based on that whole Tom Cruise character, but no. The dude they got to play Reacher. Has anybody seen the TV show?
I saw the previews.
He is such a massive human being. He's like 6'4", 6'5", and he's just he's ridiculously big, right? He's stupidly big, right? And then they make a point out of showing this. He beats the shit out of everybody. So far, through I don't know how many episodes, he just keeps beating the shit out of everybody. And the thing is, this is like the only show where you look at the guy and you go, yeah, he'd beat the shit out of you. He's so freaking big, this actor. Like, I'm sorry. It's almost like why didn't he play Sabretooth? You know what I mean? Like, why don't you get a kid like this to play? I'm devastated about the fact that I wasn't asked to play Kraven the Hunter, and instead they went with a younger version. When the older version would have been right down my alley, Dave. And if you've ever read his books, you know what I'm talking about. But okay.
It's an awesome
Anything more about Wes
character.
Craven?
Yeah, Craven's awesome. The Death of Spider-Man is a classic comic 6-part series.
Kraven the Hunter. Okay,
Yeah.
it's coming out on Amazon Prime, I believe. That's what I don't know. It's got that young kid that played using Kick-Ass. He played Quicksilver in one of the Marvel movies. He's like a big kid, but he's playing him as like when he was young and like learning to be a hunter. The story that made Kraven the Hunter so great was that he was the world's greatest hunter for years and then decided to hunt a superhero. And he wanted to prove that without like superpowers, he could hunt Spider-Man. And that's going to be his last hunt. Because what he did was he hunted and caught Spider-Man, right? And made Spider-Man believe he was dead and buried him. And that classic issue that I either have or I've sold it before is where Spider-Man's hand's coming out of the grave.
Yeah.
And that messed with Spider-Man's mental state. The whole like issue after issue, he couldn't get over the fact that Kraven did that to him. Could hunt him, find him, bury him, and do that and put lights out. At any moment, someone could just do that to him. And that's all Kraven wanted. Like he didn't want to kill Spider-Man. He just wanted to prove that he could catch him. Sorry. I'm sorry. You talked about comic books, dude, and I'm gonna roll with it. Let's see. Sin, are you up?
I can be.
Okay, David, you're done with Kraven.
That's all I got for Fingernails Freddy.
Okay.
I believe it to be true. I've heard it too many times, so it's kind of based on it. So I would believe it. Then go ahead.
Okay, so I'm talking about ghosts of serial killers still. Ted Bundy up first. Electric chair at Florida State Prison in Relford on January 24th, 1989. He was 42. He confessed to killing 30 women. And some say Bundy is still smiling, especially when they pass the actual chair that killed him. He's sitting in the chair smiling. He's always smiling, the guard says, when he sees them.
Wait, stop. Did you guys all just hear that? What she just said? Did you listen?
Yeah.
Ted Bundy? Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
They think his ghost. See, this is what I don't understand. Help me. You're in the paranormal world. why in God's name would his spirit hang around the electric chair?
He was always taunting people anyway, and he's just like, nah, 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 I'm still here.
So I have a fun fact. I went to the Museum of Death in Los Angeles, and they have the outfit that he wore when he was electrocuted in the museum.
They had what, David?
The outfit that he wore when he was electrocuted. It's there in that museum.
That sounds like a very happy place. Was that like on a date, Dave?
No.
That was going to be my next tip. Was don't take him to the house of death.
Well, he's going to make sure that he was evil in life. So he's definitely going to make sure if he's able to hang around and taunt people still.
I get that, but right, he's Ted Bundy. He's going to go someplace else and be more evil. That, to me, it's too easy, and he would never do that. That's why I'm always like, I don't get it why they automatically would go to where they died. Why wouldn't they go to someplace else?
I don't make
they have a strong connection with that place. It's easy for them to hang out there and torment people.
Yeah, the connection was they were literally connected and zapped like a bug light, and they were really only in that chair for I don't know how long. So it's like weird that they would stay at that one chair that they got bug light.
Yeah, but how long was he in that prison though?
Oh, Bundy wasn't in. No, but Bundy, even in prison, Bundy was still like a gosh damn celebrity. He
women writing him and visiting him,
and he was always smiling, always.
They were doing documentary after documentary on the guy, and he was loving it, playing into it.
But I mean, he went to the chair smiling. He sat down and he was smiling. So he was creepy.
That's creepy.
Yeah, but you ever think of this, guys? So if you had to go to the electric chair right now, none of us would be smiling. Not a single one. But if I told you, after 300 days of living in that place and then knowing how much they hated you and all that stuff he was going through, there's not that jerk part of you that might have smiled the whole time too, because what does it matter at that point?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't give him as much credit as I would give everybody, because I think we'd all be like, you know what, screw them or whatever it was. And I'd go smiling, as opposed to if I went right now, I'd be peeing myself. Sorry about that. Okay, son.
Next one, Herb Baumeister, Fox Hollow Farm, Indiana. He actually shot himself on July 3, 1996. He was 49. But he was, authorities found 5,500 bones and fragments on his property. He is suspected of slaying 20 men over a course of several years. And any questions about that one?
Yeah, I do. They must too. How were these men connected? Is this the pig farmer guy? Is this a guy that hired like transients to help him work on the farm? Like what was his lure to get 25 guys to his establishment?
He was a family man, owned a farm.
Needed help, right? Hired help. Probably hired help, these guys.
Possibly, but men began disappearing in the 90s from gay nightclubs in Indiana.
You could have led with that, and I never even would have went to the pig farm. I would have went right to exactly what that was.
Then I can go to the next one.
Yeah, but how do you leave that out to the end? That was like a trick. You tricked me right there. You made me answer something that I was completely wrong, because you were going to tell me the answer right after that. So that's why
I want to investigate that location.
Yeah, that would be freaky, Mandy.
Why? Why?
Well, because it's got a lot of all the craziness that happened. I'd like to go there and communicate and see if, see who's all still there and see if he's still there,
Here's an odd question. I might take some
Ghost Adventures actually went there and investigated that location, and it was pretty freaky what they got.
Well, and they say he still haunts his Tudor home there.
Yeah, wasn't it recently? I think it was up for sale a couple years ago. I think so.
Can I ask this question, please? If and I don't mean I don't know how I'm going to say this without. I'm not being offensive. If there was a if there was like a happy gay vibe to the area where several gay men died from a nightclub, it first off, is that completely wrong of me to say? I mean, I see the funny side of it in the sense of like, I don't know, they're all the same vibe. Like it's the same. They have the same chemistry. They just all came from a club. There's music involved. Like
What?
what I'm saying is the spirits of that area could it have been like a P town of like paranormal activity, and I mean that in all complete honesty. What I'm saying is, if it's the whole, never mind. You know what? No one's
They
gonna,
might not know what P-Town is, Mike.
oh, that's probably part of it too. All right, well, Dave, you know what I mean. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, why couldn't an area inhibit? Like, I don't know. It's been like there's civil war type things have gone on there. I'm talking about like, if atrocity happens to a certain group or certain whatever, can't they? In fact, I'm not talking all flamboyant here. I didn't go that route. I'm talking about just like the vibe of it. No. So, Dave, I'm gonna ask you because you're the one that really knows what I'm saying right now. So, no, Dave.
I mean, it's possible that energy is residual, good or bad.
Yep.
So, I mean, if there's residual good energy, that could possibly draw the spirits there as well. So, right?
Thank you. You know what? Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, son.
Next, John Wayne Gacy, Chicago, Illinois, executed lethal injection May 10, 1994. He sexually assaulted, killed at least 33 young men and boys in the 70s. Police found 26 bodies in the crawl space, and allegedly an exorcism was performed both at the house and Gacy's grave in Maryhill Cemetery. Though Gacy was cremated, and there is some debate as to whether he was ever buried at all, but that did nothing to stop the strange occurrences on his property. So he still shows up as, a lot of times, Pogo the Clown.
Oh,
So, first off, Gacy's probably my least. If you can have a least favorite serial killer, which I don't know if that's even possible, but here I go again. He's my least favorite. Like I dislike him the most. I dislike his whole life. Like I dislike him trying to fit in, him trying to be a big man in the town. His whole gimmick, being a fucking clown. Just even that, my friend. Like, you dress up like a clown. Come on. Like everything about his life I thought was awful, horrendous. He was a joke. He did horrible stuff. There was like nothing cool. And I hate to say that about serial killers, but there was nothing cool at all. Unless you thought him being Pogo the Clown was cool. But then again, if someone thinks that being dressed up as like a clown is cool, then I don't know if I trust their judgment.
oh, that's creepy. Creepy Crown. He's one that I actually went to Joliet prison and investigated that location, and they actually had him there. And I actually laid in the bed where he laid to be examined, where they did x-rays on him. And I was trying to communicate, to see if he was still lingering around there. And I had all these devices set up around me, and I was alone. I was isolated, and I didn't get nothing. Nothing went off. But I'm going to tell you, I had this like anger that just came over me, my energy and everything. I just changed. I started getting really mean, angry. Like I was, lashing out at him. I could feel it. So, but I never got nothing, never got to hear his voice, no communication with the devices, just that energy in that room just kind of made me change.
Wouldn't that would that not though be much worse, the anger? Wouldn't you have rather have heard him say, "Hey, how you doing," than to get all angry like that out of nowhere? Like,
yeah, I'd rather a device went off or heard him come through my spirit box or something than to feel that energy that I was feeling. And it could have been his along with others that were locked up at this location, but all that combined together, and just knowing that he was actually in that area, yeah, it was pretty freaky.
Yeah, I would think. You know what I mean? Like, I would think that it was pretty freaky in that room. Just laying on that bed is a freaky idea. I just don't think I would do that. Be a lot of Lysol. Sin.
Harold Shipman, the Doctor of Death. He this was in England, Wakefield Prison, West Yorkshire, England. He hanged himself on January 13th, 2004, and he would have been 58 the next day. So he hanged himself right before his birthday. But he was sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole. And he had killed an 8-year-old girl and slaying 15 of his patients. And later, the number suggested more likely 2 to 250 people. So he was a bad dude.
How was he killing you?
He was a doctor. He was really a doctor.
I know, but I mean, was he giving like bad medical advice, telling them to mix like Tylenol with ibuprofen? Like, what was he doing other than just, he wasn't coming and going, I'm a doctor, and they were passing away. So was he doping them up? Was he messing with their like, how did he, like, seriously, how did he get these kids sick or kill them? Or did he just murder them?
You're going to slap me on the wrist for this one because I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I think I've seen a documentary on something like
Did
that.
you?
I think he was actually drugging some of the people up, and I think he was even doing experiments on them. There was like different things that guy was doing.
So
And there might have even been a story on him, might have been that, I could be wrong, but Jack the Ripper or something like that. I think it might have been tied to him. Some might have thought that at one time. I could be wrong, but I read on it.
David is, you might be right, and David is sometimes quiet, but he speaks volumes
Yes, he does.
with his words. You know, see, I think Dr. Death, Steve Williams, that's not even what we're even talking about. So I don't know anything about this story. That's the wrestler that slapped the TV reporter back in like the 70s, 80s when he asked him if wrestling was real. That was the one that made like the news. He just like floored the guy.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah, Dr. Death. Okay. Sin, any more? Any more of these?
One more.
Okay.
One more. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
Oh yeah.
So he was convicted to gas chamber in '89 at San Quentin, but died of lymphoma on death row June 7, 2013. He was 53. So, you know, why they wait around? But he's convicted of 13 murders and a long string of other crimes. And he still shows up around the Cecil Hotel that Miss Mandy went to investigate.
Yes.
Yeah, why am I expecting to hear Mandy be like, I put on a pair of his PJs. I found his PJs. I put his PJs on. I was walking around seeing kind of thing. I drew some on my hand. I drew some on my hand.
Mandy, what places haven't you investigated?
I know.
You've been everywhere. That's awesome.
I do. I like to travel, so
No,
it's
cool.
my passion. You know,
We got to get you up here.
The Cecil Hotel was very interesting. Now, we only got 10 minutes in that location, and everybody was live that was with us. I was actually with Father Sebastian and Patty Negri, and there was another couple with us, and we went live, and we got some crazy stuff during that live in 10 minutes. So it was interesting.
So someone has to ask this question. What do you mean by crazy stuff? I would think that if we all wrote down crazy stuff, the forward card very
well, there's been 2 serial killers at that location at the Cecil Hotel. One was a guy, a German serial killer, and then Ramez. So, and plus there's been a lot of different things that's happened there. Lots of deaths, lots of sad stories at this location. But one of the sad stories is the girl who was in the water tank and was last seen on the elevator. And they still were trying to figure out how this girl got into this water tank. And even when I seen this water tank, I'm like, how in the world did she get up there? I mean, there would have had to have been a huge, I don't even know, I don't even know. The ladder better have been an extension. I don't know, but to get up there, it was way up there, guys.
I know. I've watched this YouTube clip and
Yeah, so
behind it a million times, dude. And I'll tell you how she got up there when you're done. But I'll tell you.
well, someone did say there might have been a ladder or something up there. I don't know, but I'm like, man, that's interesting how this all went down. But they really don't know, I guess. But anyway, so we go back down and we take the elevator that girl was last seen on, and all of a sudden we look down and there was a wet footprint on the elevator, not two, but one. And we just thought that was crazy because we just came from up there on where the tower was, the water tank. And then we go down because our 10 minutes was up. So everyone gets on the elevator that she was last on. And then someone looks down and notices a footprint. And
was it wet near the water tank?
This did not look like a shoe print. It was actually toes and everything. You could see, I actually have it on my live you can see it on my social media, but you can see a footprint. There was not a shoe print or anything like that. It was toes and a heel. You could see it.
That's so that woman was on something. And people watch that and they go, oh, what's she running from? She's talking to no one. Now she's running here. She's doing this. I've seen a bunch of those. I've seen a couple where moms go up and take their shoes off and their kids' shoes off. This is more in Asia where that's like you take your shoes off before the whole whatever. So anyways, that lady, the only way that she got up there was she climbed. Like when you finally see what she had, you could only scale it. No one's throwing you up. You're not getting, no one else is throwing you up there. No one else is carrying you as they climb it to stuff you in it. Like she had to be so whacked out, dude, that she just started climbing.
I don't know how she got that lid off. It's just massive.
It's the thing. It happened. You know what I mean? Like she fell in it. So no one carried her up. How do you do it? Imagine having to carry even like 100-pound person just like all the way up that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
She definitely had to have been on something for sure, because to be whacked out I don't even know how she climbed that thing. I'm just like, I just remember looking at it like, what?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Right? Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Like meth is a hell of a drug. It gets these people to do inhuman things. Allegedly. I don't want to get strucken down again. Darn you. Sin. Was that it?
That was it. Yep.
Mandy, you have anything?
Okay, I want to talk about a show that I just watched tonight on Netflix. It is The Devil on Trial documentary. Is the true story of a demonic possession. This has to do with Ed and Lorraine Warren. Okay, so it says, in the entire history of the United States legal system, there has only been one example of a demonic possession officially being used as a defense in a murder trial. And goes on to say that the story begins in 1980 when an 11-year-old boy named David Glatzel starts shouting out and acting erratically. His family believes that he is demonically possessed and arranges for an exorcism to be done. And the family starts to believe that, all this crazy stuff's going on, because how it started was he went to another house with his family to help them clean up this house. And he was left alone in this room. And all of a sudden, I don't know how long he was in there, but something apparently happened.
Mandy, can
Yes.
I interrupt you one quick question? Are you ruining the new movie on Netflix for all three of us?
Oh, no, I won't go. Well, no.
Because you're basically telling you're telling me right now the whole story of the movie, right?
All right, I won't tell you everything.
It's number 3 in Netflix right now, right? Number three movie overall.
Go watch it, because I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm just going to say that he claimed that he's seen the devil. He said in that room he's seen the devil, and he said it looked like the Halloween costumes. And so apparently he went outside and was acting really weird. And the family was like, what's wrong? He goes, I want to leave. I want to get out of here now. And so they finished doing what they're doing, leave. And then the next 3 nights, you know, he's doing, acting weird. He's seeing things and blah, blah, blah. And the family ends up contacting Ed Lorraine. And they go there and, you know, and they record what's going on, and it just gets crazy. But I don't want to ruin it for you guys. So I'll just say the story's very interesting, and there's some twists and there's some turns in this. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. I don't want to give it away. But again, this being the first time they actually went to trial, this has never been heard of before until now, I guess. But very interesting how they actually tried to prove this, you know, that somebody was possessed, because there was actually someone who was murdered, you know.
You've actually just accidentally created an incredible character that you could do. You should be the person that does movie reviews, but they're ruining movies for people. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
because there's more to it.
that's my point. No, but you'll be the movie review ruiner. Like, you'll be like, for anybody looking to see a movie about like whatever, Jason Momoa, here's what happens, and then you just start talking. You don't talk close, and then he dies.
No, there's so
You'll
much
be like,
more. I'm not even going to tell you.
Movie? Wait, did she just say? Yeah, the whole movie. What is that? That's
No,
what you get for reaction.
You'll understand when you watch it that no, she did not tell everything, because there's way more. There's so much more. So I won't go there. But I just thought it was an interesting story, you know, because this was said to be one of the first trials, you know, someone going to court over someone being possessed.
And what's the name again?
It's The Devil's on Trial.
Okay. So I can look for it.
It's on the
sounds kind of like the Twinkie defense to me.
Twinkie
Which
defense?
is?
Yes. Back in the day, this was a legitimate argument for defense. There was a guy who ate too many Twinkies, and he was so hopped up on sugar and stuff from the Twinkies, it diminished his mental capacities, and he was trying to escape I think it was a voluntary manslaughter charge. And he was saying he was so hopped up from the sugar of the Twinkies that he couldn't control what he was doing.
Oh, wow. I've never heard that, but that's crazy. But it is a good show. There's so many things on here. I haven't even covered everything. No, you'll see. Watch it and you'll see. But it is a very interesting. It kind of got me kind of wondering, okay, you know, you just have to go watch.
It's got me wondering if like Ed and Lorraine are like Captain America and an Iron Man of this paranormal universe. Like they're involved in so many stories. Like the Chris Chesney story, they're involved in that. They're involved in. It seems like every story that I hear, they're involved in. And
The Conjuring House too, right?
oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But aren't they from Rhode Island?
Connecticut. They're from Connecticut.
Yep.
All right, yeah. All right. It would make a difference if they're from Rhode Island, because.
Well, if you watch it tonight, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's totally different than what because they had the movie made. So it's kind of the same, but there's so much more to it.
Oh, I'm going to watch it. I'm just going to fast forward the first 10 to 15 minutes. I already know what happened. I'm just going to catch up after the kid says what he says, and I'll see how the parents handle it, and then how it ends. That's all I need to know now.
No, there's so much more. You'll see.
Have any of you ever witnessed like a real exorcism?
No.
I think that would be kind of cool to sit on.
I think that would be terrifying.
I think I would be one time I'd like to see it, but then I'd be afraid that something might jump out of something and then land on me, you know?
Yep.
And
you need to practice proper psychic self-defense.
And I wouldn't. I'd be under attack.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be near. That's too negative. It's too, because you know what? Everyone always says stuff like, I don't want to be near something like that because I'm going to get scared, or it's going to do this. It's going to be so horrible. But like, what if it does like kind of what it did to Mandy, and say like I just get all crazy and I start choking the guy next to me? Like, no, I don't know. I don't want to be that kind of energy. Like, I don't know what the reaction would be. I might be terrified, or it might amp me up, and the bad side of me might come out, and I might just start like slapping people like this. Either way, that's no good. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, being that close to an exorcism, wouldn't you be worried that, like, I don't know, you're gonna go high or low, maybe drastically? No, from the energy.
I think it'd be freaky. I mean, I say I would want to be there, but I don't know. I don't know if I really would, but just to experience it one time, no.
I don't want to. Yeah, no in the exorcisms. I don't even like going to someone's like communion or like a confirmation. Those are boring enough, and they bother me as it is. I ain't going. I'll pass that. That's like next level. I'm not doing it. So I have to say this, and I should have said it at the 15-minute mark and the halfway mark, but I never say it. If you're watching the video, please hit the like, subscribe button. That actually helps. Leave us a comment. That actually helps us too. I never asked for that. You know why? Because I just never think of it. That's just not what I'm doing. But now I have to say it. So please, if you're watching the video, please hit that. To wrap this up and go back around, Mandy, what do you got going on? What's good?
Got a lot going on. I will say this Saturday we are doing a haunted tour in our hometown for about 30 people or more. And then on October 27th, 28th, we'll be in Missouri filming with Paranormal Reality TV. And on Halloween night, we have a new location in our hometown that is huge, an old asylum. So lots of stuff going on for to finish out October.
There you go. There you go. That sounds pretty good. You know what I mean? Right?
It is.
Sin, what would you like to say?
I will be at Tennessee Haunts and Legends Expo Saturday from 9 until 6, Nashville Fairgrounds. Please come by and see me. Let me know what your favorite story has been so far on Legit Paranormal News. And my new book is out. Check it out on Amazon. Realm of Shadows, True Ghost Stories, and Eerie Tales.
David.
Buy Sin's book, because one of the craziest
That's
things
right, 'cause
I've
we're
ever
in there.
experienced paranormally, that story's in there.
Sounds a good plug. I'm going to end with one more dating tip for you, Dave. Just one more. And
I'm a
promise.
married man, Mike. I don't need these tips.
It may come up in future, I don't know, your life. I'm just letting you know. Don't ever look too desperate. All right? Don't ever like look too desperate. Don't ever like if like, in other words, if you go up to a girl, Dave, and you're like, you want to dance, and she says no, just go sit down. But if you just keep standing there asking her to dance and she keeps saying no, then it gets depressing for everybody around us. We're all just getting depressed. We just watch it. We go, oh my God, why won't Dave just stop? Why doesn't he know not to stop? And you just keep going, want to dance? Want to dance? She'll go, no, dude, no. And then it gets weird because people want to step in. They don't know what to do. It's just awkward. So I would just say in the future, don't. It's almost like it'd be like nightclub stalking. Don't do any of that. All right. Don't nightclub. Don't stalk. Either way.
Watch out for those stalkers.
Yeah. Either way, you lose. Yeah. Either way. So for the machine, Mandy. For Sin Shrader Hill, author. For Dreamy, David Barr. It is me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This was Legit Paranormal News, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. Tomorrow night we have Legit Paranormal Clips, followed by Legit Paranormal 101. Thank you for watching.